Okay, let's bring the meeting to order at 6:05 p.m. Board of Zoning Appeals meeting on Thursday, November 12th. I'm going to go ahead and do a roll call. Ellen?
Here.
Chad?
Here.
Michael?
Here.
Brian?
Here.
Okay, very good. I want to inform the BZA group this evening that Mary is not present with us this evening, and we are going to have to name an acting chair for this evening's meeting. If anyone would like to volunteer or nominate a volunteer, then we could vote on that. Would anyone like to be that person for this evening?
I nominate Chad.
I'll second that nomination.
Okay. All right. Then Chad, you will serve as our acting chair for this evening.
Okay. I will ask for a bit of guidance.
Sure.
I do see in the packet that we have for tonight, we have meetings and old business from last meeting.
Yes.
So I believe we need to accept the meeting, the recordings from last meeting, correct?
Yes, we'll go ahead. Our first step will be to review and approve the October 21st, 2020 meeting minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if anyone had any changes, or you would like, if someone would like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Okay. Ellen, do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion to approve last meeting's minutes passed. And then now for this meeting, if we can go into new business.
Needs to say aye.
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 Okay. Vote to approve passed.
Thank you.
Thank you all. And then we can transition into the new business that we have on hand. Amy put together the packet. It looks like we have a resident that is needing to install a new garage. We're looking at a request for variance to approve sort of within that 10 feet. 8.7 is being requested from, looks like from the garage foundation to the house, with an issue of the foundation already being laid. So at this time, do we happen to have on the call the zoning commissioner or the zoner from last time?
Yep. We have Dave Radacci on the call, and he can walk us through the next steps and tell us about his staff report.
All right. The property owner requested to build a garage on their property. They own 3 parcels, 2 of which are on Paradise Alley. One's on 5th Street. The garage is going to be on Paradise Alley. There was a former garage on the property. It was 20 by 20. They made a request to have a 33 by 36 foot garage installed. They pulled a zoning permit with a site plan from a registered survey, Harry Jones, with those dimensions on it. They went to we issued a zoning permit to those dimensions. They went to pull a building permit, and I went out and measured the paint on the ground and determined that it met the 3-foot sideline clearance and the 5-foot rear line clearance and the 10-foot sideline clearance. When they built the garage, they came back with a 34-foot garage, which was a foot closer to the existing house, which is being called 431 and a half, which is also on Paradise. And then we determined that they were within not within 10 feet. The house and the garage was not 10 feet. It was 8.7 feet. There was some confusion. The property owner did come in and speak to me, and I thought they needed another copy of the permit that was issued in June at 10 feet. So I gave them a copy of that. And accordingly, there's a letter in your packet stating that I had that confusion, and they thought I was issuing a permit on 34 feet. The foundation was laid with a garage of 34 feet wide instead of 33 feet wide, and not having the proper setback.
Okay. At this time, can we get any input from the resident if there's anything to include?
What kind of input would you like? There was confusion on the building inspector and the zoning inspector. We made some changes with the building inspector on the 1 foot difference, but the zoning inspector didn't really look at the updated paperwork. And so now we're in this meeting, but it is, 1 foot closer to the house. So it's on our side. It's not infringing any of our neighbors. So yeah, we just start in this process to try to move forward to get a garage up so that we can store our things. We have a pod that we are renting that's in our backyard that we want to get rid of. We don't want it to be a permanent fixture. So we're asking for this appeal.
The only thing I would like to add to this is the fact that no paperwork was submitted to me. Everything was verbal during that conversation. I did not receive an updated site plan as per what the normal standards would be.
Yeah, that was between you and my husband and the building inspector. So there's been a lot of confusion, lack of communication, I guess.
The lack of proper paperwork being filed with me is what comes down to.
All of the above.
Okay. Do we have any input from those that are with us on the board today, or questions for either Dave or for Stacy?
I did reach out. I just want the other members to know. I reached out to Amy a few days ago and I asked her to talk to the fire chief and ask for his input of whether this is a concern on safety if a fire would break out in any of those dwellings, that it would become a safety issue for the fire department to fight a fire. And Amy came back to me today with a note that the fire chief was okay with the difference of the 1 foot 3 inches. I think
Thank
that's
you,
what
Ellen.
it is, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns?
Not at my end.
Any deliberations from the board members moving forward? Okay, at this time, I'd like to put a motion to vote.
Before you go forward, please note if the vote is tied, because there are only 4 members here this evening, if the vote is tied, then the motion will fail.
Thank you, Dave.
But you were breaking up. Is that, or maybe somebody else will be barely here.
If the motion is tied, it will fail. There are only 4 members on the board this evening.
Understood. Thank
Okay, so go ahead, Chad.
Oh, I wasn't able to hear Heights that's on the call. Did you get your answer?
I did. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so with a four-person board, if we have a motion to move forward with the vote.
So would Chad need to make a motion to approve variance request, Dave?
Yes.
Okay, so I move forward to make a motion to approve the variance request. Do I need a second?
Yes.
I second.
Okay, thank you.
Second. And then
Okay.
we'll take a vote.
And just call for the vote one at a time.
Yeah, well, Chad,
Aye.
Ellen,
Come back to me in a minute.
Ellen, okay. Brian,
Approve.
I'll say,
that was a yes. And Ellen, you're yes.
yeah.
And Michael?
I'm a yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. With that, the variance passes. Congratulations to Stacy and the garage moving forward. Do we, before we do a motion to adjourn, is there anything from this meeting moving forward that we need to approve?
We do have, now that we're done with Stacy's part of the program, we wanted to address your issues first, Stacy. We are going to move on to the next part of our meeting and other business, where Mary Javins has resigned her post as chairman of the BZA. And this evening we need to take a moment to fill that position. See if we have anybody who might be interested in volunteering to take her post.
What do you mean by her post?
As
As-
chairman.
Well,
As
go ahead. As chairman.
Can you tell us a little about what that incurs, Amy?
Well, as chairman, as you can see, and Chad did a very good job tonight. As chairman, you call the meeting to order. You run the meeting, and you take us through all the steps of the process of the resident's request. Call for a motion, pretty much exactly how Chad coordinated everything tonight, going to other business. You kind of just take the lead.
I just wasn't sure if there was anything else outside of the meetings that you had to do.
Well, typically in the past, before we went all remote, we had the BZA chair was also responsible for doing the minutes. However, because we're on a remote feed like this, the village is able to take those minutes. We transcribe everything for you guys, and then it's just easier for us to do that for you, and then send out the packets so you have everything. So that it's one less thing that you have to deal with.
Okay.
So Dave, you can tell me how exactly we do this as far as voting, or how we should handle that.
One other thing that the chairman will do is that they sign the minutes and approve them with the
Okay.
approval after the minutes are done. And so that of record, you sign the minutes in the book. So your signature will be forever. In order to name a new chairman, we need to take nominations from the floor and have a second and then vote on it.
Well, I would throw my name in the hat for that if as a starter.
Chad, were you interested in?
I am. It's sort of abrupt and kind of new information, but I think it is something that I feel comfortable doing moving forward. One follow-up question: signatures for today's meeting as the interim chair. Is that a digital signature or a come to town hall and sign it in person?
Well, this is all new to us. This is our second BZA meeting in a year and a half, and so probably right now, probably digital would be my guess.
Okay, I'm comfortable either way. I mean, just a couple blocks from from downtown, so I could come in
Yeah.
to sign if we need to. But with that said, I will also include to self-nominate to include my name to the list.
Okay. And then, Dave, what steps do we take now with two potential candidates?
How about if I make a motion to close nominations?
Yes.
I second.
All right.
One option we can have is that one member, one head or chairman, the other one could be vice chair. And that way we'll always have a second officer ready to go in case the first officer can't make it.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I like that.
Yep.
So the group needs to decide who they would like to be chair, who they would like to be vice chair.
Okay, so we'll just take a vote. So I'll call a motion to vote. We'll go around and do we need to have the person vote for who they are voting for, or start with the individual and then voting yes or no on that?
Someone can nominate, put a motion to say Ellen chair, vice chair, and then if we get a second on that nomination, then you can vote on the officers as slate as one group, or you can go around and ask each person to say who they want to be chair, who they want to be vice chair.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll put on the table a motion to vote with Ellen Brown and Chad Jordan as chair and vice chair to be approved. Thank you. With that, we'll start with Jerry Heights.
Brian.
Brian,
Yeah.
sorry, my apologies, Brian.
I get that a lot in this town. So, Chad, chair, Ellen, vice.
And Michael?
I just have a quick question. How long has Ellen been on the board?
The end of my second year.
Okay, so you guys are both fresh. Okay. I thought Chad did a good job, but I'll go with Ellen president and Chad vice president. Chad, you also did very well tonight.
Thank you, Michael. Ellen?
Well, of course, I'll vote me first and you second, Chad.
Sure. I will support that. I will second Ellen chair and myself as vice chair.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
And
Very good.
so with that, then we transition to a motion to adjourn or bring up any outstanding business or new business.
I don't believe there's any outstanding new business or
Okay.
other business.
No.
All right. Motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Mhm.
I'll second then.
All right. And do we vote to adjourn?
Yeah.
Yep. Ellen,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
and Brian?
Yes.
And I also vote yes. Thank
All
you all.
right. Very good. Great job tonight, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Good night,
Amy,
everyone.
for 1 minute.